Hi, everyone. I am here with Brandi. Hey, Brandi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Brandi, among many things that she is that she's going to tell you about, she's a Reiki Master. She's a wonderful energy worker, and she's also a graduate of the Awakening and Transformation Program. And that's what she is here to talk to us about today. So, Brandi, we were just talking before we hit record. We were like, how long ago was that? So, from the time we're recording now, you joined the program a little more than 2 years ago. So if you can kind of think back to that moment in time, what was going on for you that kind of caused you to reach out to ask about the program?
Yeah, so I'd already started to have a lot of experiences by the time that I found your program. In 2017, I awakened, and it was like turning on a light switch for my abilities. And well, through that time up until finding your program, I was kind of just winging it. I was
Yeah.
learning on my own and trying to make sense of some of the things that had happened because I was having angel experiences, very important dreams that were telling me that I was a healer, all of this stuff. And I had taken it to my pastor, who was also counseling me through some issues that I had from my childhood. And I was taking all of this information to him and not being well received.
Okay.
And so I was not really finding the answers that I needed. Instead, I was being dismissed. And
Oof.
so yeah, so it was kind of a hard place to be. Someone that I trusted in the church was basically telling me that the gifts that I had were not valid,
Right.
basically. And I knew in my soul that that was wrong,
Yeah.
that what I was experiencing was real, first of all, and second of all, that this was something directly from God. And this was something that I was supposed to use for the kingdom, but I had no context or no box to really put it in. And all of the information that I had was outside of the Christian church. And so when I found the Metaphysical Christian and I realized that you had the Awakening and Transformation program, I realized very quickly that this might be the answer to putting the two worlds together because I am a Christian and I knew that the experiences that I was having needed to have that box, at
Yeah.
least initially, so that I could make sense of what was happening and to have someone that understood what I was going through and be able to help me along and to really help me kind of understand where things were going energetically and with my gifts as well.
Yeah, and I endeavor to create a space for people to have those experiences and be companioned along their way. So I'm curious if that what your experience was like with that, because you're coming from someone telling you this all isn't okay,
Yeah.
and then you're in the program, but that is a Christian context, and hopefully finding that it is okay.
Yes, absolutely. So the program really helped tremendously with that. The program, it's structured in such a way that it presents a topic and then it gives you biblical references to go off of. And that really helped me explore the Bible
Nice.
and to see context for what I was experiencing. So I could actually go and I could read verses before and after what was mentioned in the program, and I could put into context what was actually happening at that time for that particular situation. And I was able to see that mirrored in my own life.
Oh,
And
that's
so, yes,
amazing.
absolutely. This was a huge deal for me. And also, the other part that was so important was being able to have those meetings with you. Part of the program involves having those meetings, those face-to-face meetings, through Zoom. So it really helped a lot to be able to say, oh, well, we're going to have a meeting soon, so I'll talk to Katie about this because I didn't really have anybody else to talk to.
Right.
And I live in middle Georgia, and there's a lot of closed minds here. And so I really didn't have someone that I could confide in. And being able to sit down on a meeting with you and be able to talk about those experiences, get some outside context, I guess,
Right.
really helped tremendously. It really helped me to kind of settle in to my gifts and my abilities and the things that were happening.
That's fantastic. And that I find that just to be so true, that lots of people feel alone. And there's not a lot of people to talk to. And then, like you said, a lot of the people that there are to talk to don't necessarily understand Jesus in the same way that you do, and so that makes it really hard because you're sometimes speaking different languages.
Yes,
all at the same time. That's awesome. Well, so it's been probably, you joined about 2 years ago, so you've been graduated for a year and a half, a little bit more than that. And you were already having these experiences when you came into the program. You were already attuned to Reiki, I think Reiki 1 or 2, yeah, when you joined the program.
It might have been 1.
It might have been 1. It was, I remember you already had quite a bit of Reiki experience. Then since you've graduated, tell us some of the things you've done. Because like every time I turn around, like, well, there's Brandi doing other cool things in the world. So like all these amazing things.
Yeah, my life looks completely different. Completely different. I have 100% embraced who I am energetically and out in the world. So all of the experiences that I had and are still having, all of the things that I've learned through Reiki and other modalities, I don't even hold that back anymore. That's part of the program too, is learning how to talk to people within a religious context, so that they can understand things that you're experiencing. And I have just dove into that with both feet. I don't hide anymore. I have no fear whatsoever of, being, judged for things. It's okay, and I'm okay with it. And I'd much rather be who I am, the true me for people, than kind of tone myself down just to make others feel comfortable. And so that's been the biggest transformation for me, because before I hid a lot of this because I knew that a lot of people wouldn't understand it. They would label and judge. And now it's okay. It's okay if they label and judge, because I know I'm attracting people into my life that are supposed to be here, and they're supposed to be with who I am right now.
Yeah, so it's not so lonely now.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, and which is amazing.
My friend circle has changed dramatically, and I'm a Reiki master now. And, being a master has changed my life too.
Yeah.
I have had some of the most amazing experiences with my clients. I've seen people have amazing breakthroughs after having Reiki. I've actually had visions that have started to change shape now. I've discovered that I've started to have some mediumship abilities, and that's been coming through in sessions for my clients. So that's changed. I've explored some shamanic teachings, because I have a lot of shamanic experiences. Animals and that sort of thing come to me a lot as symbols and with messages. And so I've explored that. And I know now that I can do that. Before I had a little bit of fear. Oh, is this right? Is this for me? Should I be doing this because I'm a Christian? And the answer is yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And, and that's been very freeing as well. So I've been able to explore other modalities of healing and thought without leaving Jesus behind.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal for me. And I set the fear aside as well, because I know that I'm divinely protected in all that I do. And, before the Awakening and Transformation program, I would not have been able to do that. And none of that would have been possible. I probably would still be hiding.
Right. Yeah.
And
no way to live.
And I would probably still have these various fears. Am I doing this outside of Jesus? Is this okay?
Yeah.
And so now I'm free, and I think that was Jesus's message all along, was to set us free.
Yeah, exactly.
And, our gifts and abilities are part of that. And when I put the two together, things just opened up that I never would have even imagined would have been possible. And it's so beautiful. I have a new job, and I contribute that to being authentic and really putting out there what I really want.
Yeah, you've been manifesting.
Yes,
like an expert.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the things we work on. This is all so amazing, and I love that word free. To me, that's really the core of the gospel message, is freedom, and that means spiritual freedom for us as well, and really being anchored, but also anchored into your own truth. I mean, it doesn't mean a free for all.
Yes.
I mean, I think you know what I mean. It doesn't mean like we're not talking about the 60s free for all, free to do everything. Right. It means freedom, freedom to discern though, like freedom to be ourselves and choose what's best for us and where God is calling us. This is so amazing. So I just want to recap all of that. Like, so with the program, you got some solid foundation, some community, and got rid of that fear.
Yes, absolutely.
Transform that fear. And like, since then, you've become a Reiki master. I know you've been exploring other modalities, like you said, shamanism, mediumship. Those have all been coming into your life. And I know that you're taking on Reiki clients now. And so is there a way for people to reach you? Do you, are you doing this through Zoom for people? What's the best way for people to be in touch with you?
Yes. So I can be reached. I've got a Facebook page called From the Ashes Reiki. And I've had some clients, that have come through from a lot of different places. So that's a great way to reach me.
Awesome.
And also, if you just happen to be local to Georgia, I also do home clearings and in person, and of course Reiki in person. I've got an office at a chiropractic office, and so I can also be reached in that fashion. And I also do angel card readings as well.
Nice.
And I can do that in person or through Zoom.
Cool. So From the Ashes Facebook page, and we'll make sure that link is in the notes as well. Okay. Awesome. Is there anything we've missed? It's so beautiful to hear about your experience. Is there anything that I haven't asked that I should have asked?
I don't think so. I think that covered my experience.
Yeah, this is great. Well, y'all have seen it. This is, and I want to point out for everyone too, that Brandi really came into the program already with some experiences. And so I've had quite a few people come through lately who have been having these experiences and didn't quite know what to do with them. So it's a great starting point when you're like, what's next? What do I do with all of these? And that's something we can definitely explore together.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time and telling your story. And thank you for all you're doing in the world.
Well, thank you, Katie.